Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Drew here, Winning Turo Strategies. This is the channel that gives you the tips and tricks, stuff you can't get anywhere else. I can promise you that. And part of my job is finding pricing anomalies in the market. And what I mean by that is finding vehicles that for some reason are way underpriced, usually because they're a newer model and the manufacturer hasn't been able to calculate what the demand is going to be able to mark those vehicles higher than they could. An example of this, I found a vehicle a year ago, and it was a Chevrolet came out with their new model, and they added a version of that model. It was called the Silverado Trail Boss. And this version, it came basically from the factory with a lift kit, blacked out wheels, and off-road tires. And when they came on the market, they were way underpriced. This is going back a little over a year ago, to where a lot of the trucks at that time had massive amounts of rebates and so forth. And all the big manufacturers, Ford, Chevy, and Dodge, had come out with new trucks. But the Silverado was kind of the slowest as far as sales go. It just didn't get the reception some of the others got. The Dodge Ram did really well. And but I noticed that these Trail Bosses, they had the regular rebates on these trucks, and they were selling, and they were selling quickly. And so I saw one of those. I bought one of those trucks for $33,000. And basically the truck is a Silverado work truck, but it's got an off-road package, and an off-road package includes a 2-inch lift from the factory, blacked out wheels, off-road tires, and they just looked really, really good for the price point. MSRP on the truck was like, $42,000, and so I got a super good deal on them, on one of them, and I put it on the Turo platform. The goal necessarily was not to keep the vehicle long-term, but I knew it was an underpriced vehicle, and basically the market quickly catches up, as it always does, and Chevy saw that. Although the new Silverados were not selling comparably to their peers, the Trail Bosses were selling like hotcakes. And they were there was a reason for it, is because a lot of people, when they buy their trucks, then they take it to some aftermarket company, and they pay for bigger wheels. They put a lift kit on it, and they make it look more aggressive and more tough, so to speak. But these Trail Bosses were coming that way from the factory, so it was saving the person who was buying the truck, $2,000 to $3,000 to $4,000, and the truck was not that much more than its peers. So I bought the truck for $33,000. I ended up trading the truck in 8 months later and I was given, this is a pre-owned truck now, I was trading it in, and I was given $39,000 for the truck, and I traded in on the ZR2 Bison, which some of you have already seen. So in addition to that, I kept the 8 months worth of rental income. And so when you find different pricing anomalies in the market, you can capitalize on that. And I haven't gone through it and calculated exactly what I brought in for income on that, but it was somewhere around $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. So when you add that to the bought for 33, trade for 39, and then in addition to the tax credit that I was able to write off on the truck both ways, I mean, it was just when you can get that amount of profit that quickly, that is the safest way. Anytime you can get $7,000, $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 of profit on a vehicle, that's the time to get out. You're going to hear it time and time again that when you purchase a vehicle, you need to have a game plan of when you're going to get out. And the best time to get out is when you're way ahead and you have that profit secured. You only make a profit in this game when you sell the vehicle. Remember that. Mark that down. Like write that in your head. You only make a profit on your vehicle when that vehicle is sold, and you can calculate all the costs from maintenance to purchase price to maintenance to tags and all that, and that will tell you exactly what your profit is in the vehicle. So today we're going to talk about one of those vehicles. This is a vehicle that the pricing on this vehicle is off, and in a scenario right now where it's hard to find a deal, where it's hard to find a good value for a vehicle, this is a good value. And the vehicle we're going to talk about, it's not on anybody's radar, a lot of people's radar, and it's definitely not on the Turo radar. So we talked about the last two vehicles that we talked about is big hits on the marketplace. These are going to be huge slam dunks for Turo. The Ford Bronco, the Tesla Cybertruck. If you can get a hold of those two, you're going to make a killing on Turo for the first 1, 2, up to 3 years. And then you could sell the vehicle for a huge profit. I talked about that a lot in the last video. But some of you don't have the resources to spend $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 on a Bronco or a Cybertruck. And, you know, maybe you don't have the capital or the credit to get those type of loans. The vehicle we're going to talk about today, the pricing on this vehicle is the base price of this vehicle is $19,995. $20,000 for this vehicle, under $20,000. And I've got two of these on order. By the time you option it out the way I would recommend it for Turo, the vehicle's like $23,000, $24,000, maybe $25,000. This vehicle can be a easy to get slam dunk, and because there's not a huge amount of hype about it like the Bronco, it's actually something you can get a hold of. You can put an order for this red vehicle right now. The dealerships, I'm working with two different dealerships, they said they can get it to me by October, November, and you could also capitalize in some of in this bonus that Toro's got going on, where for the first 2 months on the platform, you could get an extra 5, 7, 10, 12%, right? If you've added other vehicles. So the vehicle that I'm talking about is the Ford Maverick. So the Ford Maverick, and you say, well, what's the Ford Maverick? Yeah, exactly. This is a truck that Ford's been working on for a little while, okay? And again, I have to say this every time that we talk about Ford. I'm not a Ford guy. I'm a Chevy guy. I got a Chevy C8 behind me. I got Chevy trucks. I got Chevy. The first Ford vehicle I've ever purchased will be the Ford Bronco. And the reason is it's going to make a killing on Turo. Mark it down. Okay? But the Ford Maverick is, my opinion, it's way underpriced. They're pricing this thing $19,995. It goes up to like low 30s, right? But it's a crew cab truck, and let's do a study right now. Go right now to autotrader.com, cars.com, and look up what used crew cab trucks are going for. The prices are crazy right now. Used ones are going for 30. It's hard to get a used crew cab truck, mid-size, full-size, whatever. But even the mid-size, look at the Colorados, look at the Ranger, look at, Dodge doesn't even make a mid-size truck right now. But even the mid-size trucks, look at the Tacomas are through the roof. But the used ones are going for 30 plus. And so you can get a brand new model, and the design on it, it actually looks like a truck. And it's built by Ford, so they know how to make trucks. I'm not a Ford fan, but they know how to make trucks. They sell a gazillion of them, right? As far as competition for this truck, they do have competition. One is the Honda Ridgeline, as far as not body-on-frame trucks. One is the Honda Ridgeline. They've been making them forever. Kind of a niche vehicle. Generally, Ford truck buyers are not going to touch a Honda Ridgeline. The other is the new that's coming out is the Hyundai Veracruz, and this vehicle is going to be very similar to the Honda Ridgeline, but both of them, they don't look like trucks. They look like kind of an SUV with a bed on the back, kind of a weird vehicle. The Ford Maverick looks like a real truck. Now, it's going to be targeted to similar type people who live in cities, who don't need a huge truck that's hard to park. It's going to be targeted to, you know, kind of the city dwellers and so forth. But this looks like a real truck, and I think it'll sell better than both of those two. In addition to, another unique thing about this truck is Ford is targeting 40 miles per gallon in the city. This comes standard as a hybrid. So, you know, this can kind of negate doesn't have a V6 or a V8, right? But it does have a unique hybrid engine that comes standard. You don't have to pay any extra for it, and it's going to get high 30s. Ford says up to 40 miles per gallon in the city. Well, that can be huge if in what I think is going to change in the future market. Both new vehicles that I just purchased, I haven't done a video yet, but I'm going to. Both new vehicles that I purchased have this in common. They're extremely high efficient, low gas mileage vehicles, because I predict in the next 12 months to 18 months that gasoline is going to continue to go up. It's going to go through the roof. It's going to continue to go up. And those vehicles that are, super efficient vehicles, very, very good gas miles, they're going to hold their values better. And right now you can get better deals on those while people have all this extra stimulus money and they're buying more expensive vehicles. They're not worried about gas prices, but they're going to worry about gas prices in the next year or two. And so I'm purchasing vehicles that are very high efficient. I think those vehicles are going to hold their value better as soon as gas prices go to $3.50, $4 a gallon. All of a sudden, people who bought these gas guzzlers are going to start looking for, efficient, fuel-efficient vehicles. So that's another thing that the Maverick has that you just can't get on a truck. A truck that gets 40 miles per gallon is phenomenal. Crew cab truck that gets high 30s, 40 miles per gallon is it's going to be a hit, especially if gas prices go up. And that's another reason that these trucks are going to hold their value. I think Ford's going to have a hard time putting out the production that these are going to demand. And the dealers are going to start marking them up. And when the dealers start marking them up, that's good for you if you've bought the vehicle priced right at MSRP on something like this. So hope this helps. Again, this is a buffet, so take the tips that you like, leave the ones that you don't, but I promise you, this is going to be a good one and can add a lot to your bottom line and give you some tax credits. I'm out.